What is up everyone, it's TK and today I'm going to show you this strategy in action in Legends League and give you my thoughts because it's going quite viral thanks to Shock. Obviously big shout out to him because he was the one that found this army and I'm going to be kind of using it with not a few twists, just exactly the same army. There could be some changes depending on the base, but guess what? This is the original army, so in Legends League you can't change anything. You gotta go in and get those triples done. Now guys, I've attacked in the Legends League with this army, and let me tell you before we dive into the video, I was not that surprised, okay, because okay, this is how my Legends League started. Obviously I've done some friendly challenges, even I've done it on hard mode, and I did get a triple in hard mode, but in Legends there are certain bases that are a bit tough. Now, obviously, you can see as we progressed and I did a few attacks in Legends, got that, hand over this strategy, you can see we done a bit better. And obviously, like, don't worry about yesterday, it's just that, regular armies. But today was just about the, kind of fairness. And obviously, as I said, like, once you get the hang of it, it could become really deadly. But if you're not practicing enough, this is what's gonna happen. So obviously, as I said, we're gonna dive in and I'm gonna give you all the tips and tricks that you can do with this strategy. Again, big shout out to Shock that brought up this army, and I was really interested. So I was like, you know what? I want to do a video on it and see how can I make this work. And let's dive in and see these attacks. So first off, I want to show you Yara's base and also kind of showcase what is the best base to kind of execute this army. Obviously, this double rage bases, it just depends on where the heroes are, and usually, as you can see, there's two in front of the town hall, one left and one right, and obviously the other side of it, one right, one left. So this means this entire monolith area is with no heroes, and that could easily make this furnace and basically those little furnace mites to dive into the base with the clone without needing to shoot the heroes. Obviously, if there is a king or like there is like a minion prince, they do have a lot of HP, so you can't really kind of do your best in front of them. But the strategy basically goes like this. You need an ice golem first and then those barbarians. Obviously, if you are in a war, you might not need the ice golem, but sometimes you can take, for example, extra barbarians. But now you can see we gave the furnace a bit time. Now you can see we are going to clone into the monolith, and the moment the second clone is kind of activated, you want to clone the third and the fourth with the rage spell. This will make sure you got the core. It's like basically, I would say like a royal champion charge, because you will use this amount of spells to get exactly the same value nearly. But here you basically have the RC. You're not using her and recalling her. No fox maybe if there was too much damage or something. This way you can see how we managed to make that funnel, and now with the queen on the side with the ability, obviously one thing I would recommend you is to take that giant arrow in Legends League. It's just not a good thing to not have it, but obviously because you're cloning Fernance, you might just get over with the invisibility bases, so the giant arrow might not be the best, but I would recommend it because obviously if you 1-star, then you're gonna be coming here be like, yeah, TK gave me the wrong equipments. But obviously, as I said, this is the original army of Shock, so I'm using it to see exactly how it can perform in Legends League against multiple variety of bases. Now we gotta stock a bit into the core, but obviously this is the entire army. You get the funnel, and the other army is just spam the rest into the base and the queen on the side, obviously. So minion prince ability, whenever you feel like it's a good angle through the base and maybe through a rage tower that you don't have the warden ability, go for it. I did activate that giant on the top side, and this is the good thing about Legends. Obviously, when you're like kind of losing on troops, you can get these army camps to help you out, and they actually did quite help me quite a bit. I nearly 1-starred one of the bases. If there was no like the Pekal Kane army camp, I would have 1-starred that. And obviously, as I said, you need to get hang of the clone. Once you get that and once you're perfect at it, I personally think it can work really well against any base in any mode, even hard mode, because I did, as I said, a lot of friend challenges because we had practice with my team and we were going to fight against Fuching today, Fuching #1. So we had to get some practice, and I was really hoping this army could come on top, and it did surprise me slightly. But as I said, at the beginning, I wasn't too sure about it, but let's move on to the second hit. Now on the second base, let me actually give you this entire idea of why this one wouldn't really work. This is going to be my fail, and I wanted to bring it to you so you can see why it doesn't work. So let me take the pen for you. Here is obviously the base, and you can see it's a double rage. A lot of people who are not like above average or really pro players, they would think this is just like Yara's base. Double rage for Town Hall, super heavy. But guys, no, there is certain things that are different regarding this strategy on this base. And one thing is a very high HP building in front of 3 multi-infernos and scattershot. Your furnaces might not even have a chance to clone into the base, even though you might think, oh my god, like, look at this beautiful clone, we're gonna clone all the way to the clan castle. Well, no, that is not sometimes how it's gonna happen, especially if you got like fire splitters also pointing. So if these fire mites get cooked, you're done. This base will stand and you will get a really low percentage because you have no other spells. So you can see how already the base is slightly different. Also, if you want to go from the side, we already got a hero here. Same as the other side, same as the town hall. And if you want to go for example, the entire, like, for example, the corners of the sides, it's still not enough value because let's say you get what you want. You get this entire side. Guys, there's still a double rage heavy base. There's still the clan castle to deal with and all the opposite side which you have to go through a sweeper. And you can see the back end is toxic and tough. So as I said, this base wouldn't really give you the perfect value with the furnaces, even though it looks it's going to give you the value, but it just doesn't. So that's personally what I take from the base. So what I did is I went from the lower side. I wanted to clone into the fire splitters and the town hall. I wanted to get this entire area. This is the only area that was a bit safe. No crazy high HP building here. No crazy like splash inferno scatter compartment. No heroes. This would be the perfect like value to get, but obviously with that many spells, is it worth it? This is the question that comes down to, because legends, we have multiple variety of bases. Sometimes they don't give you the value, and sometimes you might make a mistake. One of your clone might not just end up getting, and you might not get the value that you're investing 3 clones and a rage in. So obviously you can see, once we know we're going into this base, you can see I'm going to clone first, then the second clone. Once the second clone is activated, we're gonna go in with the third and fourth clone, but I wasn't sure yet. So now we're going in, going with the rage right behind that town hall. You can see how we're getting the value. All it needs is 3 fire mines to jump on a building, and they will take it down eventually in time with the fire kind of damage, but you need them to do that, okay? I really wanted the clan castle, but unfortunately we weren't able to get it. And look at the funnel. It looks good, right? So what we're gonna do is to dive in from the right hand side, because it looks much better to go into the core rather than this left hand side to dive around the entire base. At the same time, I can pop a very good warden ability through that rage tower. But this is where the damage is. Even if you get one of the rage towers, sometimes your queen might go forward, and look at this. I really wanted to save the queen with the minion prince ability, but unfortunately we weren't able to get it. Now by the time I wanted to pop my warden ability, everything was already dead. This is the damage I'm talking about. Like, this is some kind of basis that your clone Yeti mites can get it. At the same time, because you have no rage spell for your army, you can't get through this area if you don't pull the clan castle and you pull it later into the attack. And you can see how the army fades out, even though we did get a good funnel. Like, the funnel was set amazingly. I really loved it when that happened, but maybe if my queen would have stayed alive through the top side, then we could have used this P.E.K.K.A also at the back end and get everything going, especially if I had like a rage spell to get through this rage tower. But you can see how we're going to end up failing on this base, and the angles you could have chosen for the furnace is just something that you couldn't done anything better, if you know what I mean. Like, in Legends, this is the thing, like, you need an army where it's viable for everything. So this army could be really good against, I don't know, 6 bases out of 8 from Legends League, but the other 2 bases will really defend you no matter whatever you do. It's not even about your mistakes, it's about the weakness of the army, how it can be countered. So obviously in Legends, you're looking for armies that have lesser chance of being countered, and this is what I believe one of the armies that can work, but it's not the best option. So this is what I want to come down to, obviously. But let's move on to one more attack, because I want to kind of showcase what I think could work really well. So on this base, you can see, obviously we got a hero here and a hero there, so you can't really go for these compartments. And I really loved the idea of going for a clan castle in this attack. So one thing you need to watch out is to not pull the clan castle because you're diving into it. And the thing was, somehow we pulled it. I don't know how. I just absolutely got no clue because I didn't see it in action. But we're gonna see it here. So we're going with barbarians, trying to take down this building, and this one barbarian went through that entire side and took it down. But look at the clone. Here in this attack, I want to show you the strength of this army. Going with this clone, obviously we still got two more. Whenever the second clone is activated, as I said, and as Shock said in his video, you want to go with that, obviously, third and fourth and rage spell. So going to kill that super dragon, going to get the clan castle, obviously, and going to get the expos and get a good funnel. This funnel is nowhere close as a value wise to the last base, right? You agree with me, right? Like, we got two expos and like that, inferno, which was really on the outside, and nothing else. There is still two spell towers and the town hall, by the way, the town hall is still active. So how come this attack triples, even though we're diving even into a spitter from the other angle, and 4 heroes? This is no joke. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the viability of an army is a bit questioned, if you know what I mean. So even if you get good value, you might not end up tripling. It's just base depending, and in Legends you can't choose the bases. So let's move on and see this. And obviously you can see how those boogers are getting that trap in front of the healers and the minion prints. They are really good for that, so make sure you have it on your warden. If you want to copy the army, of course, it's down below in the description. But look how beautiful. We're just diving into this base. Obviously there is things that happened, and that was one of the things. The giant goes into the base and it's really good, and because we lost the root riders like one compartment ago so the giant and minion prince is tanking for everything else. Obviously we still got another giant and the cane on the outside, and at this point with the RC ability there's nothing the base can do, even though we pulled the CC in our move. So I have mixed reviews of this strategy, obviously, but I think it's a good one in a decent way that you can use it in Legends League, but I would definitely recommend it more in Wars and CWL, where you can choose the base. You can kind of know the value from before. You're not forced into any planning in the 30 seconds. And again, as I said, you can choose the good base against it. And obviously you need to watch out for those key things because it's important. And hopefully you guys like this video. Hopefully it was kind of helpful for you. And if you have not watched this army before from any other like places or even Shock's channel, as I said, I will link his channel down below in the description, so you can go and check his attacks up, because obviously he's a goat. He got this strategy and he figured out how to use these furnaces at the best way possible. And I think honestly, instead of the clan castle in the defending part, the furnace can be used in this method as well. And again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you come back tomorrow. Take care and peace.